Hi, I'm Joe James, and in this video, I want to talk to you about how to pay for college education, how to get a college education on a dime. Look, I don't have rich parents, and I have five college degrees, including two master's degrees, a master's degree in computer science and a master's degree in business administration. So I've paid for five college degrees on my own, essentially. No, my company didn't pay for it, my parents didn't pay for it, I paid for it. So here's some advice from me on how you can get a good college education on an affordable budget so you don't end up with $100,000 in student loans. Look, so the first tip is to look at what colleges cost and focus on colleges that you can afford. So there's a huge difference between community colleges at the very bottom end of the scale and private universities at the very top end of the scale, and then a whole bunch of other stuff in between. So you want to look at that range of costs. So a community college in California costs you about $1,450 a year for education. So you can get a 2-year associate's degree, which actually I got one from a community college in California, for under $3,000. So it's extremely cheap to get a 2-year associate's degree from a community college, at least in California. I don't know, other states probably have similar deals. But our community college system is so good, it's so affordable, the quality of the education is pretty good. So that is very affordable. And on top of that, you can live at home while you're studying at community college. If you can live with your parents at home while you're studying at community college and commute to the school, you'll also save a lot of money on room and board. So that is a bargain way to get started in your education on a very cheap dime. You could actually pay for that as you go, right? Because you can work part-time, you can work in the summer, you can save up your money from your job, and you can pay for your education as you go. And this is basically what I did. So community college is a very cheap way to get started. And then after 2 years, you can transfer into a 4-year university. Now, when you look at 4-year universities, in California and probably other states, again, I can only speak for my state, other states probably have a similar setup. We have the CSU system, or California State University system, which costs a little under $8,000 a year for tuition and fees. And then we have the UC, or University of California system, which costs close to $14,000 a year for tuition and fees. And those two are both excellent education. There's no question that the UC system, those schools are higher rated. They're better quality schools. They have better reputations. However, the CSU system is more affordable and still offers a very good education. So my two master's degrees are both from the CSU system, and I paid only about $8,000 a year for my education at the CSU system, San Jose State University. So you can finish a 4-year bachelor's degree by only paying $8,000 a year for 2 years, right, at the CSU system. So 8,000 times 2, 16,000, plus about 3,000 for your associate's degree that you transferred in. So in other words, under $20,000, you can have a bachelor's degree. That's just tuition and fees, not room and board, transportation, any of the other stuff, books, whatever. But it's fairly affordable, right? And then the UC system will cost you about close to $14,000 a year in tuition and fees, plus room and board. Most likely you're going to have to move to the university, find a dorm or an apartment to live in. So it's going to cost you a little more for room and board to live there. My daughter actually is studying at UC Santa Cruz for the last 4 years. She's basically spending like $25,000 to $30,000 a year total for tuition and fees plus room and board. So that's kind of gives you a ballpark of what that's going to cost you. But if you do that for only 2 years, $25,000 a year for 2 years is $50,000 plus $3,000 for community college. You're still only up to $53,000 for a bachelor's degree from a UC, which is pretty awesome. And then as a last option, private universities are by far the most expensive choice. So I would say if you're on a dime, don't even apply to private universities unless they're going to give you a full scholarship, which is unlikely. They're going to give you a lot of scholarship money. They're going to give you more scholarship money than you would get at a public university. but you're also going to end up paying a lot more than you would at a public university, even with that scholarship money. So there's no question that Stanford, University of Southern California, Caltech, there are a lot of really good private universities just in California, and actually everywhere. But there's no question that those are really great schools. But if you can barely afford to go to school and you don't want to end your 4-year education with $100,000 in student loans, don't apply to private universities. You can get a great education at state-funded universities. So either at the California State University system or at the UC system. And again, other states have a similar setup, I'm sure. They must have community colleges, and they probably also have a multi-tiered state university system. I'm familiar with the Indiana system because I actually grew up in Indiana. So there's Purdue and Indiana University, and there's actually 2 university systems that you can attend. And they both have regional campuses so that you could attend a regional campus while living at home. And they also have community colleges. So I think most states probably have similar opportunities. By studying at a university near your home, you save room and board because you can stay at home, right? You may need transportation, but if you can use public transportation, you'll save a lot of money. So these are my tips for getting college education on a dime. Use the community college system. Use the state university system, which is there to help you get an education at an affordable price. Now for transportation, what I did as an undergrad student, I rode my bike a lot. I rode my bike, I rode the bus, I rode the train, anything that's public transit, or if I didn't have public transit access to where I wanted to go, I'd use my bicycle. So I had no transportation for 2 years of my undergraduate education, and it was very challenging. But yeah, if you're on a budget, you can do that. You don't need a car as an undergrad. Even if you have a job, you can still ride your bike. So you can save a lot of money on transportation by simply not buying a car. You can save a lot of money on room and board by living with your family or your parents, or living in an apartment with a bunch of other students. And most definitely, picking public schools and universities and leveraging the community college system in your state, you'll save a lot of money. I hope this video was helpful for you. If so, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'm Joe James. Thanks for watching.